What is the process? I have it in front of me, but I'm curious to know what process you took. What was your process to go through dropping porn where for 4.5 years you haven't intentionally watched any porn? What was the process you took that worked for you?
Three components of the process. There was therapy. Well, first, before I go into that, it was whatever it takes, right? It's if someone asked you what you had to do in business, the real answer is I was willing to do whatever it took. And this is what it happened to take for me. So I want to qualify that it was 100% whatever it took. It was the most important priority for me. Once I noticed how much it was affecting my life, and the way I found out is trying to stop doing it for a period of time. And I got at one point, the first time I tried to stop was 57 days. And I was feeling freaking amazing. So many parts of my life getting better. But on the other hand, I was feeling amazing in the sense that my feelings started coming up, right? So I started feeling better. And some of those feelings were extremely uncomfortable feelings that were coming up. So when I became better at feeling because some of the porn numbed so much of it. So I started some of the trauma, some of the pain, some of the confusion, some of that started coming up as well. But in answer to your question, there was therapy, there was support groups, and then a little bit of help from technology. That was kind of the three-pronged approach that I took to stopping to watch porn.
Can you tell me support groups and what technology?
Yeah, so technology, there were, at the time I used something like K9 browser and then the general stuff on the iPhone when I got an iPhone. I'm sure there are better stuff now. I know I've worked with Covenant Eyes. Covenant Eyes, I think, is a really good one. Covenant Eyes uses it's kind of like a mentor relationship where I've been on the other side of that. So I didn't know this software when I was trying to stop, but the problem with using something like K9 browser or some of the other stuff is that there are always ways around it. Whereas Covenant Eyes kind of screenshots at random times and it gives someone on the other end, hey, the guy didn't use his phone for a long period of time, or here are some snapshots. Versus, for example, I can be on Instagram that's not picked up by the browser, but I'm watching stuff that may as well be porn. Something like Covenant Eyes will see that, they'll take pictures, and then you'll have a conversation with your accountability partner. So imagine one of your employees came to you and said, Patrick, I'm struggling watching porn. Will you be my accountability partner on Covenant Eyes? And then it'll send you reports and have that conversation. So there's a lot of different technology out there. I used K9 browser and the regular Apple stuff just to limit it. And the reason is this isn't a fail-safe. I don't have anything today on my phones, just to be clear. What it does is it just gives you a space between stimulus and response. And for me, that I've sat down on my computer so many times, I see the Google screen and I'm already, for years, when I saw that Google image, that was a trigger for me. So I needed something to block all Google images, even on my work computer for several years. Now that trigger has weakened. So one was technology, but again, that's just to put a small gap. Support groups, I use the 12 steps. I'm a big proponent of the 12 steps. Obviously, there's an anonymous factor to the 12 steps because in the 12 steps, no one wants to come and say, or not so much the 12 steps, but the specific programs within the 12 steps. So I won't name the program that I'm a part of. And the reason for the anonymous factor is, let's say next week I slip on porn or I'm found in a strip club or something else. Someone doesn't say, oh, look, it doesn't work. It does work, but I don't want to be the poster child. There are no poster childs for
you.
Any of these programs. And then therapy, really deep dive in therapy. And therapy means everything you can imagine plus.